All right, third game of the afternoon. J.J. Pinton fixing to kick it off for the Minden Bulldogs as he boots it over to number 14 for R.H. Miller. I believe that's Chris Branch carrying the ball. And R.H. Miller will have it first and 10 on about the 49-yard line. For R.H. Miller, quarterback will be Chris Branch. In the backfield, we'll check their numbers for you. Branch under. Takes the snap and gives it to number 23. 23 moves to the outside and got a lot of room, good speed. Out there, number 23, that's Jamie Rogers, a real fine run by Jamie Rogers. As he broke it loose for 10 yards and good enough for a first down. Sam Bam Jackson on the tackle. It's going to be first and 10 from about the 38-yard line. Chris Branch gets set. Once again, Rogers carrying, and this time he's hit at the line of scrimmage, but managed to drive ahead for about a yard. Tackled by the big man, number 99, J.J. Pinton. Also in on the tackle, number 22, Sean Moore. Shall be second, about 11 yards to go for the Wildcats. Side of the ball is going to be given to the man coming around. That's Robinson. Good hit in there, though, by number 28 for Minden Bank. 28 was Gary Giles carrying the ball. Number 5, Mike Robinson. Out of the R.H. Miller cheerleaders as they try to root their team on to a victory. Back to action on the field. It's going to be third and about 6 yards to go for R.H. Miller. Ball's going to be handed off to Rogers, and he's met abruptly at the line of scrimmage. A good tackle in there by Pinton and also number 28, and that is Gary Giles. It's going to make it fourth down and about 7 yards to go for R.H. Miller. They're going to try to go for it. Here we go back to action. Big fourth down play coming up. Fourth and about 7 yards to go for R.H. Miller. It's going to be a pass over the middle, and it's a little bit too long for the man receiving out there. Russell Goodwin was the intended receiver. And there are flags down on the play. We'll have to wait and see what it's going to be called. It's going to be called legal procedure against R.H. Miller. It'll be declined, and Minden will have it. Minden Bank will have it first and 10 on about the 35-yard line, 36-yard line. It's going to be a fourth down and about 12 yards to go for R.H. Miller. Quarterback takes it and hands off to Rogers, going around the right side. He's still in his feet, battles for about 2 yards, but they'll have to give the ball up to Minden Bank Bulldogs on about the 38-yard line. So it'll be first and 10 for Minden Bank. First possession for Minden Bank Bulldogs. Looks like number 22 is going to be quarterback, and that's Sean Moore. Moore takes the ball, and that's 23 rather. Hands the ball off to 41. 41 is Sam Bam Jackson. 23 was Alton Loud, the quarterback. It's going to make it second down, about 5 yards to go. And the bank fumbles the ball on. The quarterback couldn't hold on to it, and I believe they do come up with it. So it's going to make it third at 5. We have 1:51 left to go here in the first quarter of action. It's going to make it third and about 5 yards to go for Minden Bank. They got moving on the line. Gary Giles is quarterbacking the Bulldogs. In the backfield, you got Sam Bam Jackson. And we'll see what it's going to be offsides. 5 yards will be stepped off. Down 1 yard to go for the Bulldogs. This is going to the outside, and it's going to be stopped short of the first down. It's going to make it fourth down and about 2 yards to go for the Bulldogs. In on the tackle were several of the green-shirted R.H. Miller Wildcats. It's going to be 4th and 1. Quarterback Gary Giles under. Given to number 41. He's got the first down. He does make the first down. Tackled in there by number 23 for R.H. Miller. And that's Jamie Rogers. That should be the last play of the first quarter. And the 15 said, well, I'm not quite as R.H. Miller. Minden Bank has called a timeout. For the Minden Bank Bulldogs on the 50-yard line. Giles under. Got moving on the line once again. It's going to cost Minden Bank 5 yards. For Minden Bank, so we're in a scoreless ball game. Giles under. Takes the snap. Hands it to the big number 29. That's Tony Jackson. Stop for no gain. In on the tackle is number 11 for R.H. Miller. That's Stephen Forney. Game. Minden Bank and R.H. Miller, 0-0. Second down and about 5 yards to go. Make it second 15 for the Bulldogs. It's going to be a pass over on the right side, caught by number 22. He only picks up about 3 yards. Number 22 is Sheldon Everidge, and on the tackle for R.H. Miller was Chris Branch. It's going to be second and about 11 yards to go. Giles quarterback in the backfield, the two Jackson boys. Sam, and it's Sam with the ball. Good for about 6 yards. We'll let him make it 3 yards. On the tackle, number 80 for R.H. Miller, Peyton Weeks. R.H. Miller. Then to make Bulldogs on defense now. In the backfield, we have Chris Branch quarterback and Jamie Rogers and Michael Robinson the running backs. Ball is handed to Rogers. He goes around the right side. Good move as he shucks one tackler out of the way. Finally brought down by number 00 and 22 for Minden Bank. Number 00 is Sean Burris and 22 Sean Moore. A pickup of about 6 yards. Second and 4 for R.H. Miller. Chris Branch under. Takes the snap. Gives it to Robinson. Robinson goes down the left side. Picks up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Brought down by a host of Bulldogs over there. 00 and 44. Two on the bottom. 00 Sean Burrows. 44 Brad Stewart. Gain of about 1 yard. It's going to make it third down and about 3 yards to go. 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats. Number 14, Chris Branch under. Takes the snap and gives it back to Rogers. Rogers coming around the right side. A good block in there by a couple of linemen. Rogers got a lot of running room. Finally brought down by number 44 and number 40 for Minden Bank. Number 40, Timmy Loud. Number 44, Brad Stewart. Pick up of about 20 yards on the play. I saw 2 clips on the play. From the 40. Branch under. Gives it to Rogers once again. Uh-oh, Mr. J.J. Penton gets in his way, and that's all for Jamie Rogers. He might have made it back to the line of scrimmage, possibly a loss of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. Branch gives this one off to Robinson. Robinson goes around the left side and runs into number 50. A good tackle over there by number 50, Alex Hayes. Pick up of maybe a yard. It's going to make it 3rd down and 10 to go. 3:55 left to go in the half. For the Wildcats, they've got the ball with 3:46 left to go in the first half. Chris Branch quarterbacking. Hands the ball. Well, he goes back to pass. Over on the left side, kind of a wobbly pass, and it was intended for number 5, Mike Robinson. Incomplete. That's going to make it 4th and 10. It's going to be 4th and 10. Big play here for the Wildcats. Pitch back to Robinson, and he's tackled on a good tackle in there by number 29 and number 11. Number 11 for Minden Bank, John Nixon. Number 29, Tony Jackson. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as the defense held up and the offense will take over. Quarterback, he's going to hand the ball to one of the Jacksons. Number 29 is tackled by a host of players in there. Number 29, Tony Jackson. As they have to gang up on him, he's a pretty big fella. Number 5, that's Mike Robinson, and also number 11, Stephen Forney. Giles under. Goes back. He's going to run around the left side. He's got a little bit of room there. And hit over there by 23, Jamie Rogers, and also number 7 for R.H. Miller. That's Bobby Kirkland. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Giles under. Well, fumbled the ball. Bad handoff. We'll have to wait and see who comes up with it. As they unravel from the pile, it's going to be 2nd down. Bulldogs ball. Giles takes it. Gives it back to Sam Bam Jackson. Some high stepping back there by Jackson as he tries to get around the outside. He does. And he's moving and finally brought down on a good tackle by number 7 over there for R.H. Miller, and that's Bobby Kirkland. Good enough for another 1st down for the Bulldogs as they've got a little drive going here. 21 seconds left to go here in the first half. They've got to hurry up if they expect to get on the scoreboard before the halftime. 21 seconds left to go in the half. Ball's on about the 33-yard line. That means about 23 yards for scoring. Giles running around the left side. He's got a little bit of room. Cuts back. Picks up 5 yards and is going to be brought down on a good tackle there by number 1, Pat Jackson. Still 21 seconds left to go in the half. Yeah, that was an awful fast play. 11 seconds left to go here in the first half. The Bulldogs moving with the ball. It's going to be 2nd and about 4 yards to go for a 1st down. Movement on the line. It's like J.J. Penton moved a little bit too soon. We'll have to wait and see. It is movement, but it wasn't Penton. It was number 79. That's John Cathwell. Moves the Bulldogs back 5 yards. It's going to make it 2nd and 9 yards to go now. And 11 seconds still left to go here in the first half of action. Giles, the quarterback. 2 Jackson boys in the backfield. Ball is going to be run around the left side. Right there, number 11, and also number 99 to meet him. Number 99 for R.H. Miller, Trey Coverhouse in on a good tackle. Also number 11, Stephen Forney. And with 2 seconds left, we have a timeout. Play of the first half, 2 seconds left. We're in a scoreless ball game. Minden Bank Bulldogs knocking on the door, though, and they've got to get across on this play right here. Giles, the quarterback. Takes the ball, goes back to pass it. Well, he's getting pressure now. And he's going to be tackled. We have a penalty down. I believe it's going to be a face mask. It is a face mask, so the Minden Bank Bulldogs will get one more play at it. We'll wait and see whether it was a unintentional or a flagrant. Unintentional face mask will give you 5 yards. Flagrant will be 15. As the penalty was against the defense, time has expired, but because the defense committed the penalty, the offense gets one more play. And Giles was sacked as that play was never set up and never got going. A lot of confusion on the field. That is the first half, and a scoreless 0-0 ball game between the Minden Bank Bulldogs and the R.H. Miller Wildcats.
Now as the second half begins, R.H. Miller kicking off to Minden Bank. We've got a scoreless game here. Carrying the football for the Minden Bank Bulldogs up to around the 49-yard line. That's number 28. And that'll be Gary Giles. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Minden Bank down on the 48-yard line of R.H. Miller. Football, 1st and 10 down on the 49-yard line of R.H. Miller. Quarterback, I believe Gary Giles doing the quarterbacking. I'll make that Sean Moore in at the quarterback position, rolling out to his right side, gets one block, gets away from one man, cuts it up the field down the right sideline. Nice tackle in there by number 1, Pat Jackson. He dumps Sean Moore, but not until Moore has gained about 9.5 yards. The ball will be marked down on about the 39-yard line. We have an injury, and I believe it's Sean Moore. He got his wheels flipped out from under him, and he's in pain now. We'll be back in just a moment. Minden Bank as quarterback for Minden Bank. Sean Moore had to leave the ball game due to an injury. He's replaced by Sam the Bam Jackson. 1st and 10 down on the 39-yard line of R.H. Miller. We have a scoreless ball game. Man moves, but no flag. And a fumble snap, and Jackson grabs it and goes straight up the middle with it, cuts to his left. He has an opening. He may go all the way. He's to the 20. He's to the 15. He's in there. Goal line. Touchdown. Minden Bank Bulldogs. Sam the Bam Jackson on a broken play scores from 29 yards out. Minden Bank, with 6:20 left to go in the third quarter, grabs a 6-0 lead over R.H. Miller, the defending Little League champions. Two-point conversion attempt now for Minden Bank as they have scored the first touchdown in this ball game. Sam Bam Jackson scoring. He takes it to the right side now. He's being pursued by Robertson. Robertson grabs him around the leg, won't let go, and he's dumped. So the extra point, no good. Nice defensive play by Mike Robertson stops that one. But with 6:20 to go in the third quarter, the score reads Minden Bank Bulldogs 6, R.H. Miller Wildcats nothing. Kicking off now, James J.J. Penton. He booms it up the middle. And R.H. Miller Robertson had it. Looked like he was on his knee, and it is going to be whistle dead on the 45-yard line. He kept going, but it looked like he fielded the football on one knee on the 45. That's where it will be spotted for R.H. Miller's first offensive possession of the second half. The football, 1st down, 10 yards to go on their own 45-yard line. They find themselves trailing in this ball game 6-0. Chris Branch down under at quarterback. Hands the ball off to Jamie Rogers going around the right side. He's grabbed immediately. Drags his way forward for a couple of yards. I believe in on the stop was James J.J. Penton, number 99. It's going to be 2nd and 9 up on the 47-yard line. Back to action now. 2nd down, 8 yards to go for R.H. Miller. Full house backfield. Chris Branch, the quarterback, down under. On their own 47, the ball's going to be handed to Robertson. He fumbles the ball, gets back on it. Be a loss of 3 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down. About 12 yards to go for R.H. Miller on their own 43-yard line. 12 yards needed for a first down for R.H. Miller Wildcats. They're on their own 43-yard line. They trail 6-0. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. We got a flag thrown. Too much time taken by R.H. Miller. It'll be 3rd and 17 from their own 38. Back to action now. R.H. Miller, quarterback Branch throws it. A nice pass down the field and just out of the reach of number 15, Russell Godwin. Ball was thrown to the left side of Godwin. He turned to his left, thrown to his right side. He couldn't adjust to the ball, so it'll be 4th down, 17 needed, and I'm sure that R.H. Miller will probably punt the football. That'll give it to Minden Bank Bulldogs around their own 35-yard line. Bulldogs being led now by quarterback Sam Bam Jackson, who took over for an injured Sean Moore. He takes the ball, rolls to his right, cuts it back inside, makes a nice move to the outside, got 5 yards before being tripped up in there by number 33 for R.H. Miller, and that's Lance Wilkerson making the stop. 2nd and 5 for Minden Bank on their own 41. Minden Bank with the ball. 2nd down, they need about 5 yards for a first down. Got Sean Moore back in the ball game at quarterback, and that's good to see. Injured player back on the field. Takes the ball, going to throw a little swing pass intended for Sam Jackson. That ball was thrown behind him. It's going to be 3rd down and still 5 yards needed on their own 41 for the Minden Bank Bulldogs. Bank comes out with 2 receivers split wide to the left. We've got number 22, Sean Moore, out there, along with number 28, Sam Bam Jackson, in at quarterback, I believe. He fumbles the ball forward, and I believe R.H. Miller comes up with the recovery. They do, as number 11 comes up with a football. That's Stephen Forney. A big turnover as the R.H. Miller Wildcats at the 3:08 mark of the third quarter, trailing 6-0, come up with a big fumble recovery. They have it 1st and 10 on the Minden Bank 41-yard line. With a big break, they will try to convert this break into some points. 31 yards away from pay dirt. Chris Branch hands the ball up the middle to Wilkerson. He's got 5, he's got 10, he's got 12 yards before being dragged down by Sam Bam Jackson down on the 28-yard line of Minden Bank. It's going to be 1st and 10 for R.H. Miller on the Minden Bank 28. 1st and 10 for R.H. Miller. Chris Branch leading his Chargers down the field. Ball's handed off to Wilkerson over the left side, gets some good blocking. He gets about 3 yards on the carry. Number 29 for Minden Bank coming up with the first hit, along with number 99, J.J. Penton, also number 50, so 29 and 50 for Minden Bank. 29, that's Tony Jackson. 50, Alex Hayes in on the stop. It's going to be 2nd and 7 on the 25 of Minden Bank. 55 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. R.H. Miller trailing 6-0, but they are driving the football. They've got it 2nd and about 7. Down on the 25-yard line, ball handed to Wilkerson over the right side. The big man running for good yardage gets about 5 before Sam Jackson lowers the boom on him, along with number 11 and also 22 in on the stop. 11, John Nixon, 22, Sean Moore. Going to bring up a big third down play, 3rd and 3 for R.H. Miller down on the Minden Bank 21-yard line. Third down play, 3rd and a long 3 for R.H. Miller. They got to get down to about the 18-yard line for a first down. Got a full house backfield. Branch, the quarterback, he hands it to Robertson going around the left side. He gets a block. He cuts in, got the first down, and is down to about the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal on the 3. Finally stopped in there by number 12 for Minden Bank. That was Rodney Allen. For R.H. Miller, they need 3 yards to tie this one up. They got 4 downs to do it in. In the full house backfield, got Rogers, Wilkerson, and Robertson. Hand off to Rogers up the middle. He spins, or make that Wilkerson. He's close. He's in. Touchdown. R.H. Miller Wildcats, as that was Mr. Lance Wilkerson who used that second effort to spin into the end zone. We got a 6-6 ball game with 15 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Big 2-point conversion right here. If R.H. Miller converts, they take the lead in this ball game. If Minden Bank stops them, we remain tied up. It's that simple. In full house backfield, ball's handed to Robertson going around the left side. He's going to be stopped by number 26. A nice tackle on Robertson. That was Minden Bank player 28, Gary Giles, who makes the one-on-one stop of big Mike Robertson. And with 15 seconds left to go in the third quarter, the score remains the Minden Bank Bulldogs 6, the R.H. Miller Wildcats 6. Kicking off for the R.H. Miller Wildcats, Matt Robertson. He approaches the ball. It's a squib-type kick on the ground, and it's going to be recovered out there by the Minden Bank Bulldogs. Good play by number 41, Sam Jackson. He jumped on top of his player to protect him. And I believe that was number 11 who recovered the fumble. That was John Nixon, and Sam the Bam Jackson jumped on top to protect him. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Minden Bank on their own 38-yard line with 8 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Probably one play left in this quarter. We got a tie ball game, a real good defensive struggle, 6-6. Quarterback Jackson rolls out to his left, bounces off one of his blockers. He's being pursued. He has that corner turn. He's got 5 yards. He's got 10 and tripped out of bounds by number 33, Lance, 23, Jamie Rogers, as the third quarter comes to an end. When the fourth quarter begins, it'll be 1st and 10 for Minden Bank down on the R.H. Miller 48-yard line. After 3, the score reads R.H. Miller Wildcats 6, the Minden Bank Bulldogs 6. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter. As we begin the fourth and final quarter of action, the score remains 6-6, a tie ball game. Minden Bank with the 1st and 10 down on the 48-yard line of R.H. Miller. Quick trap up the middle, and on the move with the football, number 28, I believe, Gary Giles. 29 make it for Minden Bank. That's Tony Jackson running the football. He stopped, but not until he gains another 10 yards. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Minden Bank Bulldogs down on the 37-yard line of R.H. Miller. Now the Minden Bank Bulldogs moving the ball on the ground. They're 27 yards away from pay dirt. Sam Bam Jackson hands it to Tony Jackson, and this time he's going to be stopped after a very short gain, maybe of 3 yards. In on the stop, the bottom of that pile, number 14, Chris Branch. Number 11 also made some contact. That was Stephen Fournay. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7 down on the R.H. Miller 34. Get them going. They split a man wide to the left side. And going to that side is Sam Jackson. He cuts inside. A nice move on his part. Still moving to his left. Breaks one tackle. He breaks another. He's still on his feet. Finally pushed out of bounds by about 4 R.H. Miller players. Number 80, number 1, number 11, 15. Number 1, that's Pat Jackson. Number 80, that's Peyton Weeks. Number 15, Russell Godwin. They were all in on the stop, but not until Sam Jackson had a big gain around that left side. He took it all the way down to the 20-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 down on the R.H. Miller 20. That means they're 10 yards away from a touchdown. Sam Jackson, the quarterback, down under. His Minden Bank squad very close to adding 6 more points, and we got movement on both sides. We'll wait and see how the officials call this one. Offside against R.H. Miller. It'll make it 1st and 5 on the 5 for Minden Bank. 1st and 5 yards away from a touchdown. Man wide to the left side for Minden Bank. One back in the backfield. Sam Jackson takes it on the quarterback sneak, but he's going nowhere. Maybe a yard gain. In on the stop. At the bottom of that stack will be number 99 for R.H. Miller. Also number 15 and number 11, Trey Culverhouse, Stephen Fournay, and Russell Godwin all combined to make the stop. No gain. 2nd down, 5 yards to go for the touchdown, and you could possibly get a 1st down. Again, wide to the right side, number 28 from Minden Bank, that's Gary Giles. One back in the backfield, that's Tony Jackson rolling out to his right. Sam Jackson cuts it inside. He slips one tackle, but can't get away from number 1, Pat Jackson, to number 14, Chris Branch. They throw in for a 2-yard loss. R.H. Miller Wildcat defense doing its job on that play. It'll be 3rd and about 7 yards to go for a 1st down, 7.5 for a touchdown. I think right now in a crucial 3rd down situation. They're 7 yards away from a touchdown. Sam Jackson gives it to Tony Jackson up the middle, and he's going to be knocked down after maybe a gain of 1 yard. And we've got a fantastic goal line stand going right here by R.H. Miller. In on the stop, Chris Branch, number 14. Also getting up off the pile was number 5 and number 80. 5 is Mike Robertson, and number 80, once again, Peyton Weeks. Going to be 4th and goal from the 7. Minden Bank could pick up a 1st down. It'd be very close to the goal line. Sam Jackson takes it, rolls out to the left side, cuts inside, knocked down heavily by number 23, Jamie Rogers, and I believe number 33 had a piece of the action too. 33, Lance Wilkerson. That's the 2 guys that did it, Jamie Rogers and Lance Wilkerson. And so 4 cracks from the 5-yard line. By the time that those 4 downs were over, R.H. Miller had pushed them back to the 7. R.H. Miller takes over. It's 48 seconds left to go in this ball game. We still got a tie game, 6-6. R.H. Miller going to call a timeout. A little confusion in their offense. We'll be back in a moment. I'm back in now as we have R.H. Miller on offense, 1st and 10. Full house backfield. As we said, Rogers, Wilkerson, and Robertson, the backs. Chris Branch, the quarterback. He takes the ball, fumbles the football, picks it back up, and he's squashed immediately by number 99, Big James, J.J. Penton. Also in on the stop, 22, Sean Moore, and I believe 28, Gary Giles. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from their own 7-yard line for R.H. Miller. 2nd down for R.H. Miller. They need 10 yards. They're deep in their own territory. Ball's handed off to Robertson going around the left side. He's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage on a real fine defensive play by number 50. Number 50 for Minden Bank. That's Alex Hayes. It's going to be 3rd and 13 back on the 4-yard line for R.H. Miller. With time running down this ball game, this is a big 3rd down play. About 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. And R.H. Miller will have to punt and give Minden Bank good field position if they don't get a 1st down. Lance Wilkerson struggles up for some yardage. Not very much, though, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Again, James J.J. Penton, who's played a real fine game on defense, along with number 79 for Minden Bank. That was John Caswell. Stop him, and they will punt the football. Minden Bank will have it with about 1 minute and 55 seconds left. The clock stopped now with 1 minute and 52 seconds. They'll have it up around the, well, let's see, it's going to be from the 15 to about the 40 or 38-yard line. They'll take over, and this will be a crucial set of downs for both squads. Back to action now. We had a short timeout. 1 minute and 52 seconds left to go in the ball game. Score tied 6-6. Minden has the ball on the 42-yard line of R.H. Miller. That means they're 32 yards away from a touchdown. Sam Jackson still at quarterback. He rolls to his right side, and he's being pursued now. He cuts it back inside. A nice tackle in there by Chris Branch. Stops him after a loss of about 3 yards on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 13. Ball on the R.H. Miller 45. Timeout being called by Minden Bank. Seconds left to go in the ball game. 2nd down, 13 yards to go for Minden Bank. They're on the 45. Have a man split wide to the left side, Sean Moore. Ball's handed straight up the middle to Tony Jackson. He drags a man with him for about 5 yards. In on the stop for R.H. Miller, number 1, Pat Jackson. Going to be 3rd and about 7 down on the 40-yard line of R.H. Miller. Cut it. Offense, as there's only 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go in the ball game. Send a man in motion to the right. Sam Jackson rolls that way. Cuts it up the field. He's dropped, though. Good tackle in there by number 27, I believe, Robertson in on the stop. Make that 23. Now make that 27 Robertson. That's Matt Robertson making the stop along with 15. That's Russell Godwin. And now R.H. Miller's going to call timeout as we've got a fourth down for Minden Bank. They're going to go for it. Fourth, they need 8 for a first down. Falls Jackson up the middle, and he's going to be dragged down. Number 80, Peyton Weeks, stops him along with number, let's see, in on the bottom, number 11, I believe that's Stephen Forney. Ball goes over, 1st and 10 for R.H. Miller on their 37 with 45 seconds left in a tied ball game. All right, R.H. Miller has its shot to win the ball game now. They have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 37, but only 45 seconds left to go in this ball game. Two backs in the backfield, one man on the left side, that's Robertson. Dropping back, Branch throws it toward Robertson throws it toward number 15. That's Russell Godwin. In on the breakup for Minden Bank was number 10, Alan Mosley. He's 2nd down. See the R.H. Miller Wildcat cheerleaders as they try to urge their team to score. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. It's 2nd and 10 on their own 37-yard line. Looks more and more like we're going to have a tie ball game. Full house backfield for R.H. Miller. Now the man moves to the slot position. That's Mike Robertson. Branch pitches it out to the right side. Jamie Rogers cuts it back, and he's roped there around the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, number 41, Sam Bam Jackson, and I think 79 had a part in that play. That was John Caswell. Got a timeout called by R.H. Miller. 21 seconds left. They'll have it 3rd and 10 on their own 37. All right, we got a 3rd down 10. R.H. Miller on their own 37. 21 seconds left to go in the ball game. It's tied up 6-6. Branch goes back to pass, throws it over to the right side, and almost a fine catch by Mike Robertson. Falls incomplete. That'll make it 4th and 10 on the 37. Last chance for R.H. Miller. And 10 yards to go for R.H. Miller. They have a man in the slot position on the right side. That's Mike Robertson. Chris Branch down under. He takes the ball, pitches it to the left to Jamie Rogers. Rogers breaks one tackle, cuts it back inside. He's going to be dropped out there by number 50. That's Alex Hayes on a good play. Alex Hayes played a fine game defensively. There are 5 seconds left to go in the ball game. It'll be Minden Bank's ball down on the R.H. Miller 40-yard line. That means they probably have time for one last play. To the left, that's Sean Moore, quarterbacking Sam Jackson. We're looking at probably the last play. Ball's fumble, and clock's going to run out. That's the ball game. We end up in a 6-6 deadlock as both squads playing a fine defensive game. Cannot move very much on offense, and it's like kissing your sister, they say, a tie ball game is. They struggled for 32 long minutes, with both sides coming out with only 6 points. A good ball game. Not much offensively, but some real good hard hitting on defense. And once again, we want to remind you that this has been a Minden Video production in conjunction with the City of Minden and Jones Intercable. I want to remind you we have a 6-package deal, 6-game package deal for the season. We've got 6 games for $60. That means we're going to throw in that exhibition game free at Minden Video. It will cost you $60 plus tax. we would like for you to come by at 517 McIntyre, Rogers Grocery, or Minden Video, and talk to us about it. It would make a real fine gift for Christmas. You are seeing the highlights. We have the full game, play-by-play, identification of the players on it, and we have it for you. Like we say, come by and see us at Minden Video. That's 517 McIntyre right here in Minden, or call us at 371-2488. Until next time, this is Robert Holloway along with my trusty cameraman and co-commentator Roger Grubb saying so long, everybody.